Simple as that. He recently put down millions of dollars for a fucking home in Southern California. This dude has absolutely no principles whatsoever. He has built an entire fucking career on meaningless antagonism, giving voice to a bunch of emotional dipshits who think they're left-leaning but actually aren't. It's a complete fucking grift. Don't listen to his bullshit, okay? Jimmy Dore is a hack and a coward, and if he ever makes the mistake of talking to me, I'll be sure to tell him this to his face, okay? There we go. Sorry.
A little petty statute against the constitutional obligation not to allow our Constitution to be shredded by allowing illegally cast electoral votes to decide the election. That should be an easy call, but that's not what the call that the Vice President made today was.
John Eastman, this is what I got to ask you. Aren't we, this hasn't what the Vice President
that's why he has like 4,000 viewers.
Hasn't it gotten us into even a worse constitutional crisis? Because now we have Pennsylvania, Georgia, and we've got Mark Fincher from Arizona that have presented the receipts and facts and say, hey, this was an illegal process. We need this back. We need time to go through it. And then we'll send you either the right slate of electors or won't be able to do it, won't certify any, and you just go to a contingent election. Where are we now, and how do we get out of this constitutional crisis?
Bro, are you,
and more importantly, look,
One American News
We've
Network?
asked the legislatures to look at this, but their governors
OAN is like not doing shit.
We've asked the courts to look at this, and in almost every instance, the court.
Yeah, OAN is like trash right now.
Wow, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm sorry, Mr. and Dr. Biden and
he called her doctor.
Mrs. Harris and her husband walk up Pennsylvania Avenue from the Capitol to the White House.
Yeah.
Passing, military.
Biden inauguration will include escort to White House, virtual parade.
Review on their way to the executive mansion.
Yeah. Speaking of virtual.
Happen in this country, but because we have failed in every one of our formal institutions, some of the people think they've got no other option. I do not in any way endorse any violence going on. And by the way, most of the 250,000 people that surrounded the Capitol were out there peacefully. There were a couple of thugs that struck in, but that should not happen in this country. But one of the ways we make sure it doesn't happen is you allow the thing to be played out fairly with a full investigation instead of governors and county clerks refusing to comply with valid subpoenas to let them look at the materials. From Antrim County deleting the logs in their Dominion machine that would have allowed us to figure out exactly what happened. These are the kind of things that have people angry. And
all right, let's see.
The bad actors were that actually went into the Capitol, who that mob was.
White.
Because she said that doesn't sound like Trump supporters.
Oh, yeah, really?
She was shaking her head at it, too.
We are now just 5 fraud, but did call for peace, urged his supporters not to resort to violence. But I can tell you that there is a push right now to get the president to come out and speak and to say something forceful, to make a strong statement, to essentially say, stand down. And it comes as we are hearing from some of his former officials on Twitter, Alyssa Farah, one of them, who essentially says, I am one of you to the MAGA world, as she puts it. She says, before I worked for the president, I worked for Mark Meadows, Jim Jordan, and she goes on to say, I need you to hear me. The election was not stolen. We lost. Strong statements also from Mick Mulvaney, the former chief of staff here, as well as Kellyanne Conway, one of the former top advisors to President Trump, who
No, I'm not in charge of D.C. police regulations. I do know this, though. A lot of them are not going to be obeying this curfew.
In the day, and now you can see what an extraordinary picture right there. Law enforcement in front of a lit up U.S. Capitol.
Right, and to Chris's point from a moment ago, there might be those who will be disbelieving that this was Trump supporters who stormed the Capitol. It can be unambiguously stated that it was. They draped Trump flags on the Capitol, adorning it as if they were taking it over by some manner of force. It strikes me, Nora, that we ought to pause for a second and remember what the president said at his acceptance speech of the Republican nomination, standing in front of the White House back in August. He said that Republicans were the party of law and order, that Democrats, if elected to the president and other seats in Congress, would unleash lawlessness in our country. And they would inflict mob violence on monuments, on sacred parts of the American community, and in our streets. Just take that in for a second. Remember those words from the president. He said them. He said those were the stakes, at least in part, of this presidential election. That Democrats would unleash mobs
apparently Trump
that would
removed
attack
this
our
video?
most sacred values, institutions, and streets of our country. He didn't say it once. He said it more than once. One other point, Nora, and I think you were beginning to allude to it.
No, it's right here. Who said it was removed? It's right here.
I know your pain. I know you.
Oh, they took it off Facebook. I see.
You're hurt.
Why?
We had an
12.5 million views.
election that was stolen.
Let's see what Steve Bannon's talking about.
And the political leadership in the House and the Senate in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. We'll be back at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, guess we'll see where
the determination
America's
to try to
Voice
see these
Network
proceedings through to the end once it is safe to go back and try to do the business of the government to count the electoral college votes to declare the winner of the presidential election.
Turn yourself
And
up
so
on
it is our
OBS.
understanding that that is where he
Turn
continues
yourself up
to
on
huddle.
OBS.
But it's quite remarkable what we witnessed from the vice president today.
Yeah,
Savannah.
it's really hard to
Once
get the
these proceedings got
volume
underway,
right.
we
Is
saw
it better?
the vice president, one of the president's staunchest allies, break with him publicly, and to say that he does not believe that the Constitution gives him the authority to in any way try to block the vote count. And so breaking with the president in that very
I can't hear you
public
fucking,
way and
screen.
making it clear to the president, making it clear to the American people that that's how he viewed his role and that is how he proceeds.
It shows me
plan to proceed and will
it shows me at red.
get underway.
It's way louder now. Let me know how that goes.
There. And it's also worth noting that the Senate's top Republican, Mitch McConnell, also broke.
I'm still super quiet.
And said flatly that
as of this moment now, as I'm saying these words, these are quiet.
Fraud that the president is trying to suggest that there was.
It's equalizing
the
the other
country's
stuff.
democracy will head toward a death
But
spiral.
you're super quiet,
if
bro.
elections are
Dude, it's so fucking, it's literally blasting through the red right now.
Okay, Kristen, stand by. Thank you so much. I want to go to Pete Williams. Pete, we are starting
Maybe
to
it's,
see
is it on the wrong mic?
more
No, it
aggressive
couldn't be.
action on the
Turn up
part of
everything
law
else down
enforcement
then.
to kind of disperse the crowd.
So I can
We've
actually
seen the
turn up
crowd
the other.
diminish. What have you learned about the decision making that's
Was your volume not like full?
It wasn't full, but like
Sure.
everything else
Let me
is
come
much
back to
louder
that
than
if I
you.
may and answer the question about.
No, I hear it. That's why it's supposed to.
The initial thought was when this all happened, let's get the vice president out of here.
Quiet.
The
I'm
Secret
about
Service concluded that there really was no safe way to get him out of the building and away, so he remained there. Now
I was looking at it yesterday and it was hella quiet, so I was trying to figure out what the fuck that was.
the House want to keep going tonight, and he has to preside. He is required by the Constitution to preside. So I think the reason he's still there is that at first they didn't know what they were going to do but couldn't get him out of there. Now they want to continue with the count, so he has to stay there to preside over it.
Policy, and of course is not allowed, is now under a
extended that.
Right.
A little news from congressional leadership. A lot of the clamoring to reconvene has come from rank and file members throughout the day, but not the leaders who set the agenda. Senator McConnell, the Republican leader, is encouraging fellow senators that they will resume tonight at some point in order to...
Dude, if there's like more objections, that shit could take so fucking long.
So they got 5 minutes each.
House Majority Whip.
It's up to 2 hours per like objection.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and then they vote at the end.
He uses the incorrect word, certifying the Electoral College votes.
Is that guy like in? Dude, oh wow, these pictures are crazy. These are kind of badass.
The statement by former President George W. Bush, who has just put out a statement saying this is how election results are disputed in a banana republic, not our democratic republic. I am appalled by the reckless behavior of some political leaders since the election and by the lack of respect shown today for our institutions. Appalled.
What do we got, Trump? What do we got today? These are the things and events which happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great Jesus Christ. Great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and in peace. Remember this day forever. He's justifying it. TOS. Nice to meet
Peace and love. Peace and love.
He approves of everything that's taken place here. Remember this day forever. I actually like this because he comes off like a mob boss here. It's very impressive how sinister this comes off. Hey everyone, all right, time to go home. Remember, these things happen when we're not treated fairly. Now let's go home. Love and peace, baby.
Dude, it's like going crazy outside.
It's simultaneously trying to come off like he's above the violence, but he's going to take credit for all the fear it instilled.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm bad at tweeting.
Reform one of its most sacred constitutional.
What is even going on Real America's Voice?
There. Give our viewers an update. We also know we understand that people were fighting, that they were protesting and then fighting with police.
I want to find something that's right slanted so I can hear what the right people are saying.
Officers who were injured. What do we know about the status of those officers and where we're at?
Did you end up watching Steve Bannon's stream?
Serious injuries, but
Yeah, it was changed to another.
There was a lot of chaos. There was some.
Yeah, they were talking about it, but his show was ended.
Large numbers, and they worked together, and they were able to get every member safely out of the Capitol. That's a great tribute to.
I think Steven Crowder made a lot of money off the voter fraud stuff, so maybe he's covering it.
Dude, this footage is crazy.
Former White House Chief of State.
They have like these crazy plastic gas masks that they like put on.
Secretary Panetta, I guess just before we get into the security measures, I just want your gut, how you feel at this hour, seeing the images that we've all been watching.
Savannah, the scenes that I've seen today are the most disturbing events that I've seen in my entire public life.
I woke up and got my COVID test like immediately. It's kind of left. I mean, it doesn't usually look better, but
Capital of the United States, stop our democracy.
it is how it looks.
And
I also got a drone from I got a free drone from Micro Center.
the very form of government
Pulled out of my car because I forgot it.
on both order
That's what most of the trash is.
and to see
But I
that
need batteries, so I can't use it.
is something I thought I would never see in my lifetime.
And the business of the Congress must
Curfew now in effect.
From our reporting from inside the room that senators and members of Congress are very.
It looks like things are kind of like winding down.
Feeling that they're
It definitely feels like things are winding down.
continue this work, even if it goes late into tonight. What do you?
Wow, wait, is this microphone doing the same thing as my last one? What the fuck?
The plans that would have been in place for something like this. I mean, I talked about it a little bit with Secretary Napolitano earlier in our coverage, saying, I'm sure you had plans on the shelf for an attack on our Congress. You probably didn't imagine that it would come from inside, from Americans, from our very own people.
Well, as you may know, I signed a letter with all 10 of the former living.
Let's see, they're talking about the Senate election on America's Voice.
Changes in the electoral processes, things that the legislatures in those states had not sanctioned, not approved as the Constitution requires. Yes. They set up a system that Democrats could benefit in an old-fashioned get-out-the-vote system. People don't want to go to the polls, but if you bring it about, maybe they'll sign it for you and send it in, right? Yeah. And so the Republicans ran an old Tammany Hall or Chicago-style ballot operation, and the Republicans, sticking to their principles, wanted people to show up at the polls in the day. And the fact of the matter is, it's easier to get people to vote in advance than it is to get people to show up in a poll, particularly when you're in a pandemic. Yes. And it's just a number.
No shit.
Democrats did a bigger number than the Republicans. The Republicans did a lot of big numbers. There was a big historic runoff. Yes. Never this many people have voted.
They did a big number.
But the Democrats had a few more people, quite a few more people. And I think what has to happen now is these state legislatures, Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, all Republican controlled. They got to take back the rules of the election, set rules for election, tell the elected officials, you don't get to tamper with them. These are our rules. Yes. The Constitution says us, and reset the system before the 2022 elections occur.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, Jen, What it looks like now is that you're going to have a Democrat in control of the White House, Democratic control of the Senate, because as people will remember, the Senate should have a 50-50 tie now, and the Vice President, Kamala Harris, would break those ties.
That's right.
You have Democratic control of that.
Is there like a Senate majority leader if there's no Senate majority? If it's tied, like what the fuck? What happens?
They might be trying to attack first in the first few weeks.
You know, I think the big liberal wish list is not going to get out in a big way, certainly not in the first few months. Why is that? It's 50-50 in the Senate. Oh, you only need one defector to stop any Democratic thing. And Joe Manchin becomes a very important Democrat from...
Oh, there we go. Guys talking about, you were talking about
he
Hung.
becomes a very important people. And he can make a lot of deals on...
Talking about Joe Manchin. I don't know. Pull up the stream and find out, motherfucker. Support me with an extra viewer.
On January 20th.
You got
focus on things like infrastructure. Everybody's been wanting to get an infrastructure deal in place. I think he'll do.
Oh, I guess the volume part's kind of fucked up. I forgot you guys can hear me through here and there. That kind of sucks. Shit.
You all get $2,000.
Maybe I should just mute.
And I think he'll focus on those things. The dynamic to watch for is the left wing of the Democratic Party, which has always distrusted Biden, becoming frustrated very early on that their agenda is not getting to the forefront, and you know, him having to wear Joe Biden having to wear his breastplate backward because the real fire is coming from behind him, not from Republicans. Now he'll do things with executive orders, you know, restore
Lukewarm take, not a hot take at all. Who cares?
Time because of time zones, but
Resident sleeper take.
That's going to be interesting. I'm in Washington. I don't actually know if anything is going down at the Washington Capitol at the moment. Washington Capitol. Who knows? Let's see. From 8 minutes ago. No, wait, that's the U.S. Capitol. Washington. Oh, wait, Washington, like Washington, D.C. Washington State.
What other Washington?
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Rally at Washington State Capitol in Olympia over election results. Hundreds rally peacefully in Olympia as chaos reigns in...
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. I'm glad they're getting along well. Yeah. Oh, God. Well, we've got good news and bad news here, people. The bad news is that I wasn't being I wasn't exaggerating when I said that my mouth felt earlier as though I'd been eating a bunch of pine cones, and live streaming has been a little bit painful for my jaw. Should probably give that a bit of a rest.
Oh, he's about to hop off. Come here.
Like things are calming down right now. So with all that in mind, I'm going to wrap it up with a segment, evidently one without my chat, and now I'm going to head off. We have hit, I think we capped out at around 48,000 viewers. 48.
I'll find a new one.
Which is extraordinary. An extraordinary number. But of course today's not really about that, but it's still happy. Yeah.
I do not like Hassan's takes. Hassan's takes are usually ass.
I am not a tremendous fan of America. I'm not a tremendous fan of this country.
I'm sure I'll be able to find somebody.
I do like people, and I want those people to be happy. That's why I care.
Oh, he's doing a segment. Well, rip. Well, I guess we can listen to a little bit of it just to hear what he's talking about.
Really, just I care about
Go away.
people here, and I care about people outside of America too. But while we're focusing on America, there are people who claim to love America who, in fact, despise it in every meaningful way.
All right, socialism, lefty talk. Back to the real news.
For law enforcement activity, this curfew in Washington, D.C. has been underway for about 10 minutes now. Yasmin, what changes have you witnessed?
Yeah, so Savannah, we walked east to west. We were on the east side when I was talking to you a little bit earlier, and then we walked all the way to the west side of the Capitol. And there's about 3 to 4 separate police lines in trying to disperse the crowd. If you'd asked me 2 hours ago if by 6 p.m. the thousands of people that were here would have been dispersed, I would not have necessarily believed you. But now, 2 hours later, at 6 p.m., there's literally almost nobody here at this point. I mean, yeah, you are seeing a lot of folks still out here and still seeing the police presence, as you can see, pushing us back away from the perimeter of the Capitol. But we're already off the Capitol Hill front lawn. And then, just a little bit earlier, before you came to me, I saw about 25 or so FBI guys walking into the area.
Just a couple of thugs hanging out.
So we just want to make sure that we get out of the way and we're not
getting in the way of any of the police activity to make sure they're able to get their jobs done. Obviously, we want to make sure that's the #1 priority here. So I'm stepping.
Honestly, this is looking like it's chilling out in a way that it's like maybe no more crazy shit's gonna happen, which is a little bit sad, but
Everybody here to heed
thumbs up.
with the 6 p.m. curfew that's now in place in the city, Savannah. And as I mentioned, the FBI, watch out for the bike behind you, the FBI now on site in front of the Capitol.
God, that is a lot of fucking cops.
You know, is usually pro forma during an election season. Just
Does anybody remember January 6th of 2016? I sure don't.
at this very site. And I just want to mention one other note here, Savannah, that I've mentioned throughout the day, but the Capitol was set up for the inauguration already. When we arrived here earlier today, you saw bleachers on both sides of the Capitol. You saw the inauguration balcony in which President-elect Joe Biden on January 20th will walk out and be sworn in as the next president of the United States.
Kellyanne Conway.
Today, that setup, the area in which they have
What did she do?
for that inauguration on
Apparently
January
she put out a
20th
strong statement
was
against the Stop the
with
Steal
rioters and
movement.
protesters.
You said against the movement?
That's what the news person said in your stream.
Oh, I didn't even fucking hear him say that.
Here
See what she
are
said.
behind the line, Savannah. So I'll send it back to you for now. But again, there's definitely some more police presence at this point to make sure that
It was just against the
folks in this area are abiding by the 6
Stop.
p.m.
Just
curfew,
stop.
Savannah.
Please stop.
Very much an
Please.
situation, Yasmin. You're brave, and we're grateful for you being there as this law enforcement starts to move in and enforce this 6 o'clock curfew and try to get this situation under control. And as we speak, you look at the United States Capitol on this night. You have members
Only
of
they would just
Congress,
stop the steal.
senators, and
Stop fucking stealing, dude.
sheltered in place, locked down, unable to leave, unable to perform their constitutional duties because
Sean
of
fade you
a
up?
throng of
That's
protesters
like Sean's
turned
work.
rioters who breached the grounds of the Capitol and stopped democracy. But
Yeah, it was definitely Sean. Sean was here like all day. He actually slept here.
they have not
Really?
stopped.
Yeah.
They have
Well, I
paused
could
it.
wake up in like
because
3
there
hours
is very
Literally, yeah. And then go fucking to boot camp training or some shit.
sources
and go
in the
run 9
room
miles.
where some senators are gathered.
Yeah, he literally had to be up at, I think, 5 a.m.
Members of Congress
and
gathered
go.
together, watching this same coverage. There's a feeling, a defiant feeling that the business of this country will be done, even at nightfall, no matter what it takes. Andrea Mitchell, you
Let's see if Pac-Man's back up. He said he was gonna come back on when the
saying that there has never been a night like this.
telling
you
curfew took effect.
What happens
Set for 5:30. Okay, so Pac-Man should be back in 15 minutes.
can be performed by the United States Congress under these circumstances.
Well, I just got a text from Congresswoman Debbie Dingell.
A text.
And you know how long she has.
The skeleton knows how to use phones.
Of course, before her late husband, John Dingell, was the longest-serving member of Congress when he retired, and she then replaced him in the House. And she says, this has been a total nightmare. I was on the floor. I hear the gunshots, smelled the tear gas, and I will be damned if he will keep us from doing our job. We will go back and do it tonight. I asked, are you doing it tonight? Does it have to be done on the House floor or in the safe location where we know they are together? They are.
Tell us the location. Tell us now.
It will be done on the House floor. And I said, is this reportable and can I attribute it to you? And she said, yes. So that is the defiance from a member of Congress, notably from Michigan, which of course has seen the protests storming the Capitol there, the State House. She's very close to Governor Whitmer there, and we know the threats.
Oh, I left this up. Nobody even told me.
Has endured. And there is a strong.
Yeah, you're like
Michigan
ridiculously
contingent,
quiet.
we've been told by law enforcement.
I've had enough of being told that I'm quiet.
In any case, the defiance of
I'm peeking out my microphone. It's a 10.
check on the pulse of her fellow Democratic caucus members is, I think, very, very widespread. We heard this earlier from the senators, according to Pete Williams, who was reporting that they also want to get this done tonight. And I think they're going to try to do
I
it.
sounded fine before I turned it up. It's literally blasting the end of the fucking red.
And they have big business to do at the end of a session. They do stay all night. Healthcare was passed at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm surprised it's not like peaking like crazy.
To clear the deck so that that can take place. We'll keep an eye on that. Keep working your sources, Andrea. I want to turn to.
Damn, I thought over here this says actionable intelligence, and it showed it showed Kelly Leffer, and I thought it said artificial intelligence.
That will allow them to inspect those ballots.
Okay.
But that's basically the big news from the general election. The runoff races, they have until Friday to actually procure all the rejected ballots. So for that reason alone, I won't say either race has been officially called. But
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
These 20-second clips, and you have no fucking idea what's going on. But people.
Oh, let's hear some nuclear takes from Dumpstony.
Blah blah blah. Police officers just letting everybody walk in and blah blah blah. Like Jesus Christ. People are posting a video with only the 6 seconds of the gate being open to make it look worse. Yeah, not fucking surprising. Brain dead dipshits.
Oh, back to the computer build.
Police letting them in. Yeah, no shit, because Assange is here to give hot takes with zero fucking
Then he
thought
goes
behind
back
anything
to
that
building his
moron
fucking
says.
PC,
It's
dude.
not surprising.
Like, it's so dumb.
How the storming of Capitol Hill was organized on social media. Let's read this article. Just after 1 p.m., so this was written just a couple hours ago. Just after 1 p.m., when President Trump ended his speech to protesters in Washington by calling for them to march on Congress, which we saw him do. It was insane.
Yeah, that shit was kind of mind-blowing.
But it's okay for Destiny to make takes on Pokemon without any of the logic you just said. You're trying so
Oh my god.
things. But
Stop reading the chat. Just read the goddamn article.
hundreds of echoing calls to storm the building were made by his supporters online. On social media sites requested by the far right, such as Gab and Parler, directions on which streets to take to avoid the police and which tools to bring to help pry open doors were exchanged in comments. At least a dozen people posted about carrying guns into the halls of Congress. Calls for violence against
Oh my
Congress
god.
for pro-Trump movements to retake the Capitol building have been circulating online for months, bolstered by Mr. Wait, sorry. Okay. Wait, don't post tweets about him. That's fucking weird. Okay, chill.
Please go. Continue.
Violence against members of Congress and for pro-Trump movements to retake the Capitol building have been circulating online for months, bolstered by Mr. Trump, who has courted fringe movements like QAnon and the Proud Boys. Groups have openly organized on social media networks and recruited others to their cause. On Wednesday, their online activism became real-world violence, leading to unprecedented
I was watching your
scenes of
stream
mobs
from
freely
earlier.
strolling through the halls of Congress and celebratory photographs of themselves.
And I thought it was live because I'm not paying attention to it.
Hung.
I was hearing stuff from like 30 minutes ago. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Did I just hear this? I was like,
earlier this day.
It's a major deja vu.
At 2:24 p.m., after Mr. Trump tweeted that Mr. Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done, dozens of messages on Gab called for those inside the Capitol building to hunt down the vice president. In videos uploaded to the channel, protesters could be heard chanting, "Where is Pence?"
Hey, my dude, if Yud had continued to pay for...
Alright, let's see what's going on.
At the other side, I said, "You almost got shot. You almost got shot. Are you serious? Are you willing to do this?" And most of them calmed down a little bit. One of them, he was the agitator. He's the one that was probably the one that got most of them stirred up.
Some who? Mark Wayne?
He's just unreasonable. He's one of those guys you can't be unreasonable or you can't reason with. But we're all, at the end of the day, we have the right to protest.
Is that his name? Yeah, that's what's up now.
Property. We don't have the right to go this far, and you should feel strong and be willing to stand your ground.
Apparently, that was one of the guys
that was,
like,
and I believe you have the right to do that.
And like parroting like the Stop the Steal movement, and so then whenever they like took pictures of him like cowering behind people whenever they like stormed the Capitol.
The story. I mean, when you think about now, many of your colleagues have said and communicated that they want to see this process go forward. They want the Congress to perform its duty.
Agreed.
As mentioned, you were one who was going to object to the electors. Is there anything about what has transpired today that makes you reassess that? Not because...
Hold on. What's this fucking guy's name again?
You can't expect the media to do that because they're savages.
Bill O'Reilly. He got fired from fucking Fox News for like molesting somebody. Or he resigned or something.
MSNBC, you know. I don't have to tell you. You know.
This is the coverage we wanted.
We have to bring it.
I mean, he looks old.
And we can't have it. You gotta take a strong arm approach, President-elect Biden? Do it. Do it.
Wait, what? Whose side is he on here?
Donald Trump took a strong enough approach on the looters. and the arsonists after.
Yeah, I bet that would be.
Because you knew the locals weren't going to prosecute them, and they didn't.
Wait,
But
unmuted,
the
dude.
feds could have, and they didn't.
That was for you. Yo, should we put the fucking mom phone call on the stream, bro? That sounds fire.
Punish people who create
No, I'm just
anarchy,
gonna
who
text her.
break the law. They are criminals, seditionists. They are traitors.
I'm not sure what side Bill O'Reilly's on right now.
Breaks into the bodega and steals from the working class people just trying to get by under the guise of social justice is a traitor to this country.
Okay, he's not on the right side, it doesn't sound like. It sounds like he's on the wrong side.
Breaks the window in the Capitol and goes in.
Oh, he's saying they're the same.
But he's talking about stealing from bodegas.
He just both sides meme.
See if I have anything else I want to say here. 90% of us are
Enlightened
loyal
centrism.
Americans, even the people I disagree with. The haters, I don't think, are loyal Americans. So maybe the number is 80% of us, 75%. There's a lot of haters out there. Tonight, you're going to see it. I mean, if you watch this and then you watch others, you look at the
There's a lot of
Hollywood people.
haters.
Oh, I can't even tell you. They're haters. They just hate.
Let him be your motivators, Bill.
Right? It's not a crime to hate, but it's a moral. In my religion, it's a mortal sin. Hate all over the place. Responsible leaders
Is this...
bring it down.
Do you guys see this in the bottom right corner? How they have two logos on top of each other?
So I want to say tonight, and I appreciate you watching us, and I hope you respect our coverage. You don't have to agree with it. I want you to respect it.
All right.
Next week, things will calm down. I'm going to make that prediction. I think Donald Trump will pull back. He made his point. It's not going to, the election's not going to be derailed. So next week, the last week of his presidency, full week, I want things to calm down.
Yeah, me too, dude.
Clean up what you have to clean up, Mr. Trump. Okay, I would make an address to the country.
And arrow sinker.
One final one. I would do that. I hope it's like your State of the Union last January. That was a magnificent speech.
Is it 5:30 yet? No, 5:24. Getting close.
We taped our
What
analysis
you got, Bill?
of Georgia earlier in the day.
Oh no, Bill. This is not based.
By that I mean, it'll tell you why the two Republicans lost. They should not have lost.
Is it not obvious why they lost?
I mean, Georgia, yes, is changing, but it's not insane.
All right. Back to NBC.
She stormed through the door, and an officer had to make a split decision. And
I want to get rid of this fucking Destiny stream so bad.
families' lives have changed. His life has got changed because the first time you discharge a weapon, it changes you. It changes you, and it changes you forever.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's some people out there that's lost a loved one too, a daughter, a mother. I don't know how old she was, but there's a family that's going to grieve tonight because of what got out of hand, and it should have never ever got to this point. This is a dark day for all of us.
Whose fault is this? Who are we putting blame?
And learn something from this, but we still need to be passionate. You have a right to be passionate about what you believe politically, but we can
Blue Lives
debate
Matter,
in a better
dude.
manner than
He was
that.
in the right.
We're better than this.
He was in the right.
Dude, that's true. The cop did what he had to do. What do you? I mean,
Be safe and
cop was just doing what he had to do.
plans as Congress tries to get about the business of the American people. And let me turn to Kristen Welker.
I hate it.
Kristen, I don't know if we've caught up since the president issued his
He was
last.
just doing his job.
What was the thinking behind that? What are you
judge should be
hearing from
discharged,
the senior officials inside the White House tonight?
Well, Savannah, the tweet comes after a number of senior officials here have been pushing him to go further than that video statement that he released earlier today when he again reiterated the false claims of voter fraud, but did urge
Come on, Pac-Man, get online.
protesters, the mob that gathered outside the Capitol, to be peaceful, not to engage in any violence. And so this tweet seems to be the opposite of what some of his top officials were urging him to do, which was to come out and make a statement point blank and say, stand down. This tweet does what he did at the rally, which is to reiterate those false claims, saying, remember this day forever. It is worth noting it has now been flagged
he's live.
Twitter
You
saying
were with us earlier. what was meant to be a perfunctory and merely ceremonial counting of the ballot.
No, he's on NBC as well.
Was interrupted as essentially violent insurrectionist Trumpists.
I don't like this.
Capitol.
All right, this needs to be different.
Mike Pence was escorted out to safety by Secret Service. Members of House and Senate leadership, as well as members of the House and Senate, everything
Dude, what you should do is
imploding
take off America's
because
Voice
of
and
these
NBC
violent
and just have the
Trumpists,
David Pakman
and
show,
we are now
but then put
seeing
your
a
video
curfew
over David
descend
Pakman's
over
face.
Washington, D.C. And slowly
That's fucked up.
normality.
I don't know if I can go that hard.
Returning to the Capitol, as you can see, people sort of more walking away than towards, and we are seeing police as
Let's see if Newsmax is talking about it.
Virginia, National Guard from Virginia, and a whole bunch of other law enforcement authorities start to redirect people and to get them away. So a lot going on, and we are going to have continued coverage. And as I've said before, I believe the most important thing here, aside, of course, from people not getting hurt and all of that, and unfortunately, a woman who was shot inside the Capitol has died. Is that the vote has to continue.
Oh, it's Roman.
We cannot, they delayed this certainly by some hours, and it was going to be in many hours anyway because of the objections that we were going to be hearing.
Fucking muted in here. What's going on?
The count needs to resume.
Oh no, he doesn't know.
Allowed to actually interfere with this process.
Bro,
That's the
we're
most
busy
important
invading the Capitol.
Okay, let me do something. So here, I was going to just do this real quick, but it's now turning into something even bigger. I have an apology to make because earlier today I incorrectly said that a stream from a channel we were watching was a Trumpist.
Good night, Robert.
The channel we were watching is called Status Coup. I, in the chaos of it, said I think this is a Trumpist channel, and that was wrong. We were flipping back and forth between a bunch of these streams. Many of them were protesters with cameras. One of them was not. One of them was a channel.
Damn, bro,
Status
David
Coup.
Pakman.
I was wrong. I messed up, guys, and I'm owning up and taking responsibility. Status Coup is not a Trumpist channel.
Hey, at least he's saying it. Right.
Status Coup. He
I just
falsely
said
labeled
something
Status
that was not
Coup.
right, and I apologize to you for that. Now, unfortunately, this has now started to get into one of these things where the guy who runs the channel, Jordan Sheridan,
39 minutes ago. Oh, they're done.
tweeted to me just before I went live, and I just don't need we don't need the ad hominems. I mistakenly said that they were a Trumpist channel. I was wrong, and I'm apologizing. But then you see stuff like this. I don't recall David reporting in Flint, Michigan 17 times. That's true. I didn't. That's not what I do. I mean, and people who do it, I think, are absolutely brave and valuable and fantastic. If this
Oh God, who the fuck is this guy?
Or being arrested for covering things. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I haven't done that stuff. That's not what I do.
Is that well out there?
And then I really have only ever seen him audition for MSNBC. I mean, it's just kind of an ad hominem. We really don't need that. And as I pointed out here, an honest mistake was made, and I am about to correct it on air when I go live in 5 minutes. The ad hominems are unnecessary. I made a mistake, and in good faith will correct it. So, and there's another one here. It's ironic you just suggested an ad hominem attack when you go on air talking about channel journalists you apparently don't know. This is exactly when things are people are just being mad. I'm owning up to it. I made a mistake, and I don't see the point.
Hey, Brian, how bad is it raining?
I'm sorry, guys. I just said something wrong, and I just don't get when this stuff doesn't seem productive to me.
It's fucking
and I'm getting
Yeah, it's raining pretty rough over here. Oh wait, I'm muted. Yeah, it's raining pretty rough over here.
all the way to Beaumont with
guess
grandma
these
in
are
the
sort
back
of
seat.
revolutionary leftists who
You're in Beaumont
I
right
mean
now?
it's just a
Wait
mistake,
for the rain to
guys,
pass
and
over,
if
then
this
I'm gonna go
is-
back to Houston.
it's like, look, we've got an armed insurrection going on in Washington D.C.
Yep,
We've
and this is
the
my-
Democrats have taken the Senate. There's
Bro, I've
so
honestly,
much going
in the
on. We've
last
got a global
month, I
pandemic.
probably-
I'm not here to hide. I'm apologizing. I'm saying I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. Status Coup and Jordan Sheridan are not Trumpists. I was wrong. I'm admitting the mistake. And when this stuff escalates, it's a real waste of time. So that's
I came
I've
3 or
given
4
my
times in
apology,
1 week.
and we are moving on. And certainly people will not be satisfied with that, and that's okay. It's really not a big deal. Okay, now, as the violence grew in Washington, D.C., Donald Trump put out a video. And the video is telling protesters to go home, and yet is repeating the exact same lies that made the protesters show up and get violent in the first place. Check this out.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us.
So that's not true. That's not true.
It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other
The
side.
U.S. representative
But
is
you have
gonna
to go
sit in
home
a
now.
corner with a dunce
It
hat.
wasn't a land. Now he says you
Everybody
have to go.
discuss things.
Stuff that got him there in the first place.
We have to have peace.
Bro, back then it used to
We
be
have
a
to have
privilege
law and order.
say
We have
you're
to
a United
respect
States
our
citizen.
great
Now it's a fucking joke.
people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt.
That's the truest shit you've ever said.
Period of time. There's never been a time like this where such
Bro,
a
it's
thing
a
happened
fucking
where they
joke to
could
be a
take it
part of the
away
United
from all of
States.
us.
Only
From
thing
me,
that
from
we got
you,
going
from
for
our
us
country.
is free money.
Oh, wow. And I'm being told Twitter
Not
has deleted the video. Is that true? Oh, my God, they did.
Everywhere else has more.
Altogether. Wow. Wow. And then he had also tweeted this, but I guess this before I refresh, let's just read it because it was removed. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide
they've all been getting money.
Yeah, literally every other first world country has been getting money except us. Like way more.
Probably even Greece has been giving people money.
He's essentially defending the violence.
Hey, do you think that
This is the president
there's people
defending the
protesting
violence.
in England?
Go home with love.
We have rights. We can be out at whatever time we fucking feel like it.
Oh yeah, I mean there are people doing that, but it's just a lot less.
Yeah, there. I think there are anti-maskers in like the United Kingdom, but the United Kingdom also did like almost as badly as we did when it comes to like deaths per capita.
Before COVID, because all their teeth are fucked up.
That's not appropriate.
We are monitoring what is
in Mexico, they don't even wear
Let's
masks.
listen to what the Washington Post is saying, and the real question is,
Sandy, be
when will
quiet.
the House and Senate
There's
reconvene
no reason
and
for
just
you to be
finish this,
crying.
what is typically a ceremonial process of counting the ballots that have already been certified by states.
Supporters, diehard Trump dead enders, are
Dow jumps
don't
500
believe
points.
that the legislature is a co-equal branch to the executive.
All right, it's Newsmax time.
That are claiming that this is Antifa going in under the guise of being Trump supporters. Is there anything that you guys are being told as to who these folks are?
Frankly, I don't care who it is. I'm gonna be blunt with you. This is
Even Newsmax is acting like this is fucking bullshit. That's crazy. Bill O'Reilly.
I don't care what group it is. Whoever breached the Capitol, they need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We are in the process of going through
This is Newsmax.
responsibilities with the Electoral College. Myself and many of my colleagues were in the process of objecting to several states, and so to have these perpetrators, these
He's a Republican, yeah.
come into our Capitol and do this. This is something that really damages our.
And this is where Trump gets all of his fucking news from too. He gets it all from Newsmax, all from OAM, all from Fox.
You know, you're there as a representative of the people. How does this make you feel as a congressman?
I just want to see what they're gonna say.
If you watch the stream at twitch.tv/Professor Alden, we are covering Newsmax live right now, and it seems like Bill O'Reilly was saying this shit is fucked up. Sean Spicer is saying this is fucked up. Whoever just called into Newsmax was saying this is fucked up. Looked like some Republican House member or something. But yeah, it seems like they're all saying it's pretty fucked up, even the Republicans.
That doesn't give you the right to just start doing things in this Capitol that we wouldn't allow, whether it was Minneapolis under other riots or whether it was Kenosha, Wisconsin under other riots. If it's not okay in those instances, it's not okay here. And so I think,
Yeah, they're basically saying like it wasn't cool there, it's not cool here.
I think a lot of members here on both sides of the aisle, because I believe we're committed to going back and doing our business under the Constitution.
Congressman, I couldn't agree with you more. I think you're words in your statement are spot on. I have said this, Lindsay said this, we've made it very clear at Newsmax, violence is never acceptable. And I'm concerned that we started this thing a couple years ago where members on the left were saying surround people from the Trump administration, you know, go get them at dinner, go to their house. We saw this with Josh Hawley. We saw it
What?
unacceptable level today by taking over the people's house. I am truly concerned, Congressman, that people now think that this is the acceptable way to express your grievances.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not acceptable. And, you know, I don't know who's saying it. I know a lot of us are saying it on the Republican side of the aisle. This is not acceptable. What was happening to Senator Hawley, to him and his family, is not acceptable. What was happening.
What happened to Senator Hawley?
That's not acceptable. What is required in this moment now is leaders, all of us, we got a responsibility to hold everybody accountable. It's just not okay, period. My mama raised me right. You don't go up into somebody else's house and cause problems. You don't track people down and go to their home. That's just not how you do business. If you're going to respect other people's property, other people's privacy. We can disagree, we could debate, we could be angry, but you're not allowed to go and start wreaking havoc and violence and going into places, breaking windows, putting your feet up on people's desks. I don't care how much, whether you like or hate Nancy Pelosi. That's her desk. That's her property. That's her office. And even though me and her will probably never get along on anything, I would never disrespect her office that way. And I would expect people to not disrespect it that way as well. And if they're going to do that, they should be prosecuted.
Dude, what if somebody was smoking a blunt in Nancy Pelosi's office? That'd be so fire.
Consequences. I think this is unacceptable. Whoever is responsible.
Wait, is that what was in the meme chat?
Public property should be challenged and prosecuted. I could not agree with you more. We are going in the wrong direction. Congressman, we're getting breaking news.
Breaking news from Sean Spicer himself.
Announced they will go back into recess at some point tonight. Location is still undisclosed. How important is it that the House
give us the location now
to send a message that we're not going to allow people to take over the U.S. Capitol? A message.
It is critical. You know, our nation is a nation where all voices are respected, even when it's not appreciated, even when it's not liked. But all voices have to be respected. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us here on Capitol Hill to continue our business, because we're not going to let some small force, some small group of vandals.
Small? There was like at least 100,000 people, maybe 1 million, maybe 10 million, maybe 100.
What is the feeling like amongst, have you been able to talk to other members of Congress? What are they saying?
I bet it's fucking terrible. I bet it's going to be real stupid, but I'm curious too. It really seems like it could go either way.
They're actually really, they want to go back. Let me first say that. They want to go back. The members are, frankly, they're just appalled by what...
Oh, yeah, wait. If somebody could weigh in, whenever the volume goes down, whenever I talk, is that annoying as shit, or is that okay? Like, thumbs up or thumbs down?
And so I think right now...
Turn up the other sources a little. Okay.
Frankly, for Capitol Police being able to hold the line here in the Capitol, we're thankful for DC SWAT to be able to come in and help restore order. And we're also thankful for the additional support.
I need a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the audio ducking, because I've heard people don't like it, but I think it sounds good. So.
To go and do the job they've been elected to do, and I think in some respects it's given us more resolve to do that as well.
Congressman Donalds, I want to tell you, I was excited when you got elected as a lifelong Republican. I loved what you stood for. I loved the way you campaigned. I loved your attitude.
I act like it's respectable to be a lifelong Republican. Or lifelong anything for that matter, but Republican even more. Kind of crazy.
Because you had such a great message as a candidate. I had such hope for you coming in. And I'm upset that this is how you have to start it, your service to the Capitol and to the country.
Is this guy like a rookie? He's a freshman?
But I want to thank you for being here tonight.
This guy a pledge?
You're safe, and I know that there's great things ahead for you and your service to Florida and this country.
Listen, thank you, Sean, and rest assured that, you know, this day is going to pass, and we're going to get back to the business of governing this nation and doing everything I can to push forward a conservative agenda for the future of America.
Congressman,
fuck this guy. This guy's not based.
Look forward
a little too much, because I can't hear it when you talk. Okay.
Thank you very much. As Lindsay and I
good
mentioned,
looks. I'll adjust it.
Better than this violence. We are going to talk about it next with Dave Rubin. Stick with us.
Let's lower that ratio. 4. Yeah. Hopefully it should be okay now.
Attention all Medicare.
All right, none of that.
57. I really do very much appreciate that.
And he's going over subs. Wait.
been banned today.
Okay, subs and banned. Let's see what's going on over here. Hopefully it's not just bullshit about the Senate runoff yesterday.
Of President Biden's progressive agenda gets passed. Your assessment of what Mr. Biden really wants to do. I mean, we know Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, they're basically going to try to patronize their voters, give the voters what they want. Is Biden in the same category? That's hard to say. Certainly in his
President Sleeper.
ET asking, is today the death of the Republican Party? I can't imagine anything Democrats could have done that would have been worse for Republicans than what Republicans did today.
Well said.
So far, okay. If you say
13 arrests in 42 minutes? Come on.
that would have more damaged the Republican Party than the self-inflicted damage Republicans did, I can't think of anything. Now, whether there will be long-term damage remains to be seen. Mullen just on MSNBC saying it's not anyone's fault but the rioters, and that he believes they aren't real Trump supporters. Oh, well, that, I mean, I don't know about
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
saying they're actually left-wingers, and there's no evidence of that whatsoever.
Not even that. I mean, Trump pretty much co-signed the fuck out of that.
The Mendoza, if they impeach Trump now, he will be invalidated from running in 2024. That is worth
that's
it,
a
right?
different angle.
I'm not sure about. I don't know about that. If that's the case, I'm not sure what law that would be related to. And Mike says to anyone in the comments who think Trump supporters will wake up from this, just go to R Conservative and see for yourself. There's a lot of delusion happening in some of those.
Let's go check out R Conservative.
Come on, you're gonna run me into all these mobs, bro.
Tell us your thoughts on what's going on.
Snooze O'Reilly.
Well, eventually, this will be cleared, order will be restored, and Joe Biden is going to receive 306 electoral votes in the joint session of the House and Senate. It's a question of how long it's going
For those of you comparing these to Boston 1773, take a look at these pictures and tell me how this is patriotic to you. This is the Capitol building.
Late tomorrow, does it carry over into Friday? I don't know how long it's going to take, but that is the next step. And in the midst of it, there will probably be some more violence and some.
This is pretty rad, honestly. I like the pictures a lot. I mean, not this one. This one's pretty bad.
They took down, so if you're just joining us,
But that's pretty fucking bomb, dude. Really low quality picture, super low res, but kind of fire.
They are both gone. The tweet that was here essentially says the violence from his supporters is warranted. This tweet was a video in which Trump said that it's time to go home, but they stole the election and we won in a landslide. And then earlier, this tweet, which was removed, was one in which he denounced Mike Pence. Donald Trump has now denounced his own vice president.
Vice President. Vice Pence.
It is just incredible that this is what is going on at this point. Let's get and I like Twitter's approach, which is we're not even going to wait for him to be gone. We're going to get going now. Let's take a listen and see what NBC News is up to.
Democracy of decency, honor, respect, the rule of law. Just plain, simple decency.
Right.
Mitt Romney's always been based. This fucking R Conservative, this is like all people shitting on what's happening. I don't understand why somebody said this is what you wanted to go to. I don't get it.
Biden earlier.
Crisis in our democracy, and asked by reporters, Biden said he wasn't concerned about his own safety, his own security, or even his own inauguration,
Indeed,
which is set to happen at the U.S. Capitol outside in 2 weeks' time.
A lot of conversation about that in light of what has happened here. All right, Jeff.
Dude, Lou Dobbs' voice is fire.
Curfew now underway in Washington. Police have been working to disperse the rioters from the Capitol.
And what's weird is that despite the curfew, there's no big urgency. I don't know if this is someone who's
Dude, our Conservative is shitting on Trump.
There's very little urgency, even though we're 45 minutes into this curfew. It's almost like it's almost like the encampments that these very Trump supporters were denouncing when they were taking place over the summer. And essentially no urgency here. And sometimes when you look at crowd control, even though the curfew is at 6, they work slowly to avoid acute incidents. So as long as people are relatively corralled here and sort of drifting out, and they can get the Capitol itself more and more under control, that's why there may be no particular urgency to get people dispersed at this point in time. But CNN saying Chuck Schumer said.
Oh, they got motherfucking Dave Rubin on Newsmax?
The resumption.
Very strong message that this is.
Hey, it's Dave. Bring in Drew. Almost said pants.
Being frustrated and hurt and
This is his man's.
Yeah, well said, Lindsay. Look, I know a lot of people are upset right now. A lot of people are not happy with.
Oh, he's gone. No, where'd he go?
People don't think it was
Not in Discord anymore.
transparent. The litany of issues that the mainstream media has basically ignored that we've all been talking about. And as I've said all along since November 3rd, if it got to the end, and although I supported Trump, if it didn't work out, then so be it. And we have to have a peaceful transfer of power and everything else. But look, a lot of people are frustrated. But the one thing you can't do in a civil society is take the law into your own hands. You can't occupy buildings. You can't burn down buildings. Now, the irony here, of course, is that over the last 2 years, this type of violence, actually much worse in many cases than what we've seen today, has been normalized by the left, right? You're allowed to burn down Target. You're allowed to burn down Pep Boys, Starbucks, and the rest of it in the name of political violence.
I'm not sure if most liberals believe that.
Let's say. That doesn't excuse anything that's happening here, but these people are deeply frustrated. They've been ignored and mocked and told that they're
Oh, now we're going to justify.
theorists. And in an odd way, it feels like everything that all of us have been talking about for a couple of years now has sort of led to this very moment, and we need some calmer heads to prevail. But one other thing on this, you know...
Well said, Dave Rubin.
Everybody is condemning the violence. Everyone uniformly. There's
Oh,
nobody that's
where'd he go?
doing it. And yet on the left, we very rarely, if ever, see them do the same thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I just want to be clear on something because, we know that people stormed the Capitol today.
Yeah, dude, liberals never fight with each other. People on the left never fight with each other.
Who did it? There's a lot of people that are Trump supporters saying this is not us, and you're right. Everybody is condemning this on the right that I can find, including a lot of people that were on the rally.
I feel like we're just fragmenting
We did
Republicans from Trump supporters and then Trump supporters from even crazier Trump supporters.
These people are not part
They're three separate groups now.
It's interesting, though, Dave, to your point, the president goes out, puts out a video. We played it at the top of the show, and Twitter has already
Removed it. Oh, God. That's so bad optically, dude. They're going to rip this to shreds.
It's, the
Oh, no.
seem to ever stop.
Oh, no. The fucking censorship angle.
Before we started, I had to put my phone down. That Twitter has now actually taken the video down, too. At first, they weren't letting
mob
you...
got to them.
So at first they weren't letting you retweet it or comment or like, and now it looks like they've taken it down as well. A video where he's saying, guys, let's not be violent. Look,
And that the election was stolen and won in a landslide. Same video.
Of the left, the normalization of political violence, and when half the country says, okay, political violence...
Dude, if this was all I watched, I'd be a Republican. I don't even know.
People are going to say, well, we've got a just cause. And yes, we don't know. Are there some agitators in there that aren't necessarily Trump supporters?
This is presented so well and so legitimately.
We're involved in this too. But again,
Newsmax.
people are seriously frustrated and they feel like they're not being heard. But, putting aside the violence, which it's easy to focus on, there's a lot of people out there waving American flags
basically broke in her office.
and that
It
don't
seemed
want
like
the images that we're seeing right now to
like-
take
I don't
place.
know
And
if it was her
they're
office
singing the
specifically,
national
but they-
anthem on the plane and the
They had like somebody's computer open with emails. Like they didn't get to lock their computer.
Who?
I have no idea. I don't know if it was Nancy Pelosi's office for sure, but it was somebody's office.
It's kind of far.
He says something, and then they take it down.
Was the tweet deleted?
Of course. But this is, again, because big tech has
Trump's tweet was deleted. His couple of them were.
over everything that we do, over our ability to communicate with each other.
Oh, big boogeyman, big tech.
Do whatever they can. They feel that the finish line is almost there, right? They're 2 weeks basically to the day from the inauguration of Joe Biden. And at this point, even if Trump came out there and said exactly whatever it is they might want him to say, they need him to be the true bad guy for the next 2 weeks, no matter what. So taking down the video, I mean, look, this is, once they use a power, they don't give that power back. And the more people...
What is this idea?
People they censor, well, sure, it may be the people that you don't like at this moment, so you're okay with it.
Are you serious?
But it never stops there. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, though, because, that's a lot of ways how Trump speaks to his supporters. And for him to get that message out there to stop and to not take part in this was important. And they're literally taking this down. We saw...
Honestly, I kind of feel like they shouldn't have taken that down. Do y'all agree or disagree with that?
I don't know. I think Elon October.
Are you serious? I seen an email in October.
Are you serious? I seen an email in October.
I think they should have taken that down. Do y'all agree or disagree with that? John, Brian.
I wasn't paying attention. You're talking about it.
I'm talking about the tweet. Yeah, the video, like the Trump video, of him saying like, "Yeah, we won in a landslide, but like y'all need to go home." Like that was literally the video.
I think they're just like fed up with it. I don't think they should have deleted it, but they're just fed up with the whole election has been stolen narrative. They don't want that to be the main like.
But now this show, Dave Rubin on fucking, I don't know if this is live or cable TV or what the fuck Newsmax is even on, but now Dave Rubin gets to sit here and bite into this fucking thing of like, oh, big tech censorship, big tech boogeyman, big tech use power, steal from good people, try to say good things, they just censor you. It's all they do, they just censor. Like, they kind of open the door to that. And I don't think deleting that Twitter actually does any like demonstrable good at all, except I think it's optically bad and does no good. It's kind of a bad decision on Twitter's part, I think.
Severity of what
I guess it's still
today,
some kind of
but I
censorship,
think
though.
part of the frustration is.
I mean, it was partially a bunch of no, it was a bunch of lies, but he also told them to go home. So.
And when we do it, we can't get away with it. Again, that's not an excuse. It's just an explanation of the reality.
I
Oh,
agree
damn,
with
bro.
you,
She was
because
trying
the
to
thing
get
that's
into
interesting
a,
is when they were surrounding Trump people, going to their houses, when they were surrounding them at dinners, when they were doing things this summer and destroying property, they didn't find a problem with it. Today, they understood what it was like to not agree with them. That doesn't make it right. I agree with you, Dave. I've always said that violence is never acceptable. But it's amazing how they were silent for so long.
Silent, right?
Said, oh my goodness! And it's like, well, if you've been on the right and you've been on the receiving end,
Dude, this guy is just lives in the fucking echo chamber.
and suddenly they went, oh my gosh, this isn't good.
I don't even know I can hear anything anymore.
On the left to reflect on their behavior. So, Dave Rubin.
Well, I hate to tell you, the reflection ain't coming anytime soon, but I agree with the sentiment.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree that you're probably going to be right on this, but you're always right. So, Dave Rubin, thank you.
Dave Rubin, never wrong. Never wrong.
Or the author, the host of the Rubin Report, the author of the great book, Don't Burn This.
Host of the author of the Rubin Report.
Appreciate you joining us, and we will see you soon.
I can't believe this bitch.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Sean and I'll be right back with our thoughts. Don't go away.
I sent an email to this lady in October asking for, hey, have somebody try X, Y, and Z.
Closed captioning brought to you by Magnified Leg and Back Pain.
Like, saying, this is not working, we need this ASAP. Bro, I swear, this is what people do.
Maybe it wasn't possible before.
You are the last priority on my list right now.
Outs Trump has denounced Pence. Pence really is like the traditional Republican Party, whereas Trump is this thing that appeared in 2016, and the Republican Party will go back to being, if Trump does go away, more.
What is happening on Newsmax? What is happening on Newsmax?
Starting to kind of pivot in a sense to being, hey, yeah, we're kind of like back to being W. Bush and Barack Obama. So I wouldn't chalk it up to anything other than they realize the Trump ship is sinking very quickly. They can't possibly bail out water quickly enough to stay afloat unless they throw Trump over the edge and lighten the load. Just to kind of use a seafaring analogy, and I think that's exactly what is going on right now. Get back to talking about.
Dude, I want to buy one of these. I actually want to buy one of these hella bad. Actually, one of these $2 Trump bills. Holy fuck! Where do I buy this?
With that type of thing.
Where do I buy this?
Wrapped Federal Reserve sealed packs and preserved in a handsome folio to maintain its fresh, crisp, uncirculated condition. The final.
Oh my God! Is it real?
Set at $39.
No, but that's not how much it is, right?
Special release. This full color commemorative.
This is Pog.
Can be yours.
$15.
$95. Protected by our 60-day.
Oh, I kind of want to cop this, dude. This is like memorabilia. This is like.
Comes complete with a certificate of authenticity.
Ooh.
Display portfolio. First come, first served. So earliest orders receive priority over later ones. There is a strict.
Is there a website? Do I have to call a phone number?
So hurry. Don't delay. Now you can reserve your own Mount Rushmore color.
Dude, this is like a piece of history.
Avoid disappointment and future regret.
Where's the website? MountRushmoreBill.com.
Strict limit of 5 bills per caller. That's 1-800-790-3134 or log on to MountRushmoreBill.com.
Life in America is...
Wait, what? Oh, I spelled it
The
wrong.
liberal Democrats have planned for this country.
This is an ad?
Would be devastating.
Yep.
At Mammoth Nation, we're committed to supporting conservative candidates. We also stand behind our police, military and veterans, the Second Amendment, and much more. In return for your patriotism, you get great discounts on things like hotels, shopping, wireless, and much more.
Those shoes are trash.
Discover your Mammoth buying power today. Go to mammothnation.com and join now.
Okay, I don't even know what that means.
In the beginning was the word.
Shit.
Always
And the word was
simple
God.
or easy or convenient on the side
The
of the
same
family until they have to
was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him.
Different one. Hold on.
Y'all need to look at
Vice President Mike Pence, the VP. Let's see.
$15? $15?
Tweeting. Yeah, not seeing anything new. I think we're basically up to speed on the things that
Dude, I want one.
has been putting up.
This is so cool.
Followed Trump. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Look at the banner at the top. What's the banner at the top? Oh, the other account, the top banner.
Okay, Eli,
Okay,
you can
what-
sell
what-
that
what am
in
I
4
looking at
years
here?
when you become president again.
The
for,
banner
like, a
is
couple
Pence and his wife. Okay.
60-day money-back guarantee. Why the hell would you ever want that?
Is that weird? Okay. All right, we're moving on.
$10 shipping? Oh, $5 shipping.
Picture of himself and his wife.
And insurance.
Oh,
here
there it is.
At the top of his profile. Okay, let's
20 bucks for a $2 Trump bill.
Senator-elect.
I mean, I guess it's technically only 18 bucks.
They might be sick today, but because they're my neighbor and they coughed, I might be imperiled. That doesn't make my neighbor my enemy. That means that I've got to have my neighbor's back.
Pretty good, Eli.
That if they are uncovered, perhaps I'm unprotected. I should want them to have health
That's
care.
the thing, Derek.
I should want their children to have
not the same.
access to
I'm going to use my stimulus money to buy this.
want them to be able to work with dignity and earn a livable wage and to retire.
It's a
I
pretty
should
convenient
want
console.
for them equal protection.
Oh, God. Hope it doesn't show my number. Is it going to show my card number?
We watch these rioters storm the Capitol without, and we watch the response of law enforcement
Netflix
and
machine in every
juxtapose
room,
that
bro.
to what happens when black and brown people, whether they're in
I want this to be on fucking stream.
other places, have risen up nonviolently.
Make sure it's not showing up anywhere.
It's a market study in contrast that's hard to
Oh, my God.
and I think it calls us in this moment to build a
This truly is a must-cop.
racial coalition of conscience that I think we saw this summer in light of the tragic flashpoints of George Floyd and
Well, if
others.
he sells his
We
Xbox
saw
to you, he
Americans
wouldn't
of
have
all colors, multi-generationally, march out into the streets, masked up against one virus, COVID-19, in order to wage war against the
Man, bro,
virus
he
of
must be down
bigotry and
bad, right?
racism and xenophobia. We need that kind of spirit, and we need it now more than ever.
Reverend Raphael Warnock, who made history today by becoming the first Black American elected United States Senator
Let's go.
in the state of Georgia. Congratulations, Senator, on your hard-fought win. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I don't even know where the fuck that's at. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
And we turn again to our Lisa Desjardins
you're
now
like-
at
yeah,
the
you're closer to
Capitol,
me.
where we are hearing
why
that
you moving so
lawmakers
far?
will resume the Electoral College count process.
Oh, wait a sec. What? Jimmy Dore attacked me?
Oh,
Let me
you
look at
moved
that.
to an apartment?
Jimmy Dore attacked me. Oh, he did. Oh, I'm gonna like it.
Oh,
I
you got a
always
random-
just like when Jimmy Dore attacks me. I get the instinct I'm doing something right. Check this
okay.
out. Jimmy, see, I knew
can work
that
at-
the
there's a Amazon
revolutionary
factory
left
at,
was going to go after this.
warehouse
Let's
in
see.
Humble.
Oh, look at this. So, oh my goodness, this is just so sad. All I can do is like it. So earlier, this guy named
You should have done
Jordan
UPS again
Sheridan
this year, bro. You could have made some cash.
was mad at me because I mistakenly said his channel was a Trumpist channel earlier today in the
Yeah,
midst of a live stream. I was wrong to do that. I apologized at the top of the stream, and as you can see, I said it was an honest mistake. I'm about to correct it. And then I guess he didn't like my apology, and he said, I guess I'm just a bad person. I don't know. So then now Jimmy Dore seized on it and says, yes, David,
It's trying to make me buy 5 of them. Wait, here's a special opportunity that's being offered to you because you ordered today. For a limited time, if you increase your order to full, we'll send you all 5 with a very desirable feature, consecutive serial numbers. I don't give a fuck about that. If you collect currency, you already know.
Doesn't McCarthy smears mean calling people?
By increasing your order to 5 of our beautiful full-color Trump Mount Rushmore $2 bills for the same low price of $15 per bill. No. Mount Rushmore cloning currency set. Website is such a fucking scam.
Is your wrist?
No, I'm good on that too.
Well, when you got it checked out, what did they
What
say?
it means to McCarthy smear people? Does that mean
These are kind of fresh too, though, but they're not nearly as significant as the Trump one. George Washington, Abe Lincoln, nothing on Trump. No thanks. Just give me my fucking goddamn $2 bill.
How do you eat then?
That's crazy. I'm just gonna retweet it. Retweet.
I'm gonna tell my bank this was a scam.
David Alpakman is a red-baiting defender of status quo who punches left and McCarthy smears his political opponents. I feel like I do the
Let's go. Fuck, my address is on there.
in that I say we shouldn't call people socialists and communists as an insult if they are not socialists and This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Jonathan Patrick. David said he would vote blue no matter who, even if it was David Duke and was running
Eli,
against Richard Spencer.
could I just see
no,
your
I never
freaking
said.
credit card
It's so
information?
insane. What I said.
No, I mean,
you
well,
always
hold
have
on.
a choice. There's
Yeah,
always
mute.
a worse person. I don't know who.
No, there's no way.
Think of a more dishonest.
I'll re-pull it up just to see, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't.
Double check.
Even if the choice.
Oh god, it's gonna put it over here.
Spencer,
Yeah, no, it's oh god, what's happening? There we go. Okay.
I would choose Duke.
No, you can see the last 4 and like the address, but you can't see anything else.
And
Okay. I mean, if someone wants to have our address, that's fine. Yeah, it was $20.
Convince more people about his white nationalism, whereas David Duke is so gross and vile, he would probably be more ineffective. The point I was
Yeah, it was $20.
This idea of two bad choices versus a good and a bad or whatever, we can always as adults think about which one is worse. And my view was there are reasons why I think Spencer is probably more.
Who are you talking to?
And as people are pointing out,
Roman.
it was kind of a trap question to begin with. But anyway, guys, this is really
You look super quiet.
worst of the left. And
Turned
I
you
don't
down.
even
He's
know
streaming
if
right
this
now,
stuff
so like,
is left. I
yeah,
mean,
the
you guys
video,
tell me.
like background noise is probably pretty annoying on the stream.
And then again,
Yeah, I think
the
Elijah
blue
turned
no
me
matter
down.
who.
I did turn you down, but
even know what that
I turned you back up.
I don't know what are these people. David Duke and Richard
Yeah.
Spencer. What political party
it up.
are they? I don't think it has nothing to do with
Turn it
party.
up.
Yeah, I should even get away from it. It's really, really weird.
What does
I'm
Lucio
going back to
But
meeting.
I'm still curious, David.
Let's turn it up.
Is that an Argentinian joke? Because of Argentinian
Oh, so what are you-
alpacas?
So Elijah,
Or is it like
Elijah,
David
what are y'all
Al
watching so I can
Pacman?
watch
Like
this
as if I have a Muslim
Huh?
name, even though I'm Jewish.
What are y'all
I don't-
watching?
I wish I understood it.
Like all of the news coverage that's going off today.
On what?
Like
I'm watching I'm streaming on Twitch if that's what you're asking.
I don't know.
Right, Twitch and YouTube.
But anyway, when I talk
'Cause you
about
said you
the
were-
left
you were
doing things
streaming
that are
something,
weird,
and I'm
that's
like
kind
here
of
waiting
what
for it.
Oh no, Twitch and YouTube.
I think the AI.
It's in the general chat or the Streamlinks chat.
The AI Pacman. It's a reference to APAC. He was being anti-Semitic towards you. Oh yeah, I have nothing to do with APAC.
What the fuck is this?
APAC is an American-Israeli.
Which one
Major
is yours?
League
I don't fucking see it.
producers
Scroll to the very top.
embrace this stuff. Some of the biggest retailers in the world took the side of the protesters or the outside agitators. Remember, if there was any violence, anything really bad that happened, they always pointed to outside agitators. What are they doing today? They're pointing right at you and me.
They're pointing.
Trump supporters and at the president himself. If you're a real Donald Trump supporter, if you agree with what he
This guy's misspoken twice in the last 2 sentences.
Bro, he lost his
wholeheartedly.
Twitter for
There's no
12
debate.
hours.
No debate
bro.
whatsoever.
Wait, his Twitter got banned for 12 hours?
For 12 hours, yeah.
Related disinformation.
Ooh.
So Twitter seems to be taking the Trump tweets significantly more.
Where'd you see that?
And I think
I'm on
that's
David
really, really
Beckman's
great.
live stream
Let's go
right
back to Lisa Desjardins and see what she's up to.
It's been a tumultuous
Yeah, I'm in
afternoon.
love with
You've been
David
there
Beckman. That's
in the
my
middle
bae.
of it from
Yeah, I feel
the
that.
beginning. Fill us in on where we are and where we go from here.
This is crazy.
Currently, Capitol Police have
Not the
stated
president
they
anymore,
have
dude. He doesn't
secured
get special
the Capitol
treatment.
building.
Beautiful.
I think he still is.
Building. This is where we see
Twitter doesn't
really
think
the
so.
residents,
Twitter does not think so.
members of Congress and their staff have been sheltering in place. We are under lockdown. That means
These
no
are
one can leave,
things.
no one
Oh
can
my
enter this building.
gosh, bro. Look
At the
at
same
this
time, we are
tweet.
seeing
This
some
is
movement
absurd,
toward
bro.
the
This
House
man
chamber.
is
I've
trying
seen the
to-
House clerk
bro.
and some of Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker's aides, go that direction. House
Great
Speaker
news.
Pelosi, as we just reported, passed
Oh,
me a
is she,
short
are we
while
back to
ago,
listening to that one lady?
going up, not
Yeah,
necessarily
something Desjardins or some shit.
talking to a leadership source with House Democrats, a member who is in leadership. They told me that they will
I don't think that's her name.
tonight reconvene. I said, when? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
Elijah.
You know, this person
Well-
said, we haven't decided yet. I don't want to give you a time, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Interesting.
Another staffer made a good observation, though, Judy, that it could be an hour from now for several hours. So
Did
the
you guys
hope
hear
is
about the
to
Capitol?
return soon. But we don't know because
Dude,
the issue
send that
is,
motherfucker
Judy, they
to
have
The
to
Hague.
clean the House chamber. There are COVID concerns. And of course, the
I'll
House
say.
chamber was disrupted. I want to show some video right now. I think that we have
Okay,
it.
we'll check some video out.
Of the
I want to
House
hear what the
chamber.
fuck Newsmax is talking about, but
But police did quickly evacuate the chamber, but with weapons drawn, which was something that I saw as well.
oh, look at this footage.
Protesters.
Oh, never mind. Those are just from the ejections.
Capitol. But the determination now from leaders in both chambers is to continue with the certification and finalization of the 2020 election tonight.
Beautiful.
You see members of the Capitol Police now. You know, these are folks that have been
Bro, what's
standing
this
on guard
GOP,
in
This guy said,
this
"Remember this
particular
tweet
corridor.
forever."
They're relaxed right now, and you can hear some laughing even. But I talked to a
is that
different
GOP
Capitol Police
reference
officer who had a very
to
scuffed up
Arizona
jacket,
Electoral College
and
votes?
clearly
All according to the law. And the debate started back and forth in the Senate side and in the House there. Okay, but the afternoon got pretty ugly. So it's not over. I want to bring in Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor, President Trump's lawyer.
America's mayor.
Mayor Giuliani.
Oh, okay. Giuliani's take. This is new.
You were at
This is coverage.
today. You know what happened.
Look at his ring all sideways and shit.
It's a little bit controversial, but
His pinky ring is sideways too. What the fuck?
What I'm thinking is, you know, I'm always looking for. It's like Vince Lombardi. He never
Straighten your rings, homie.
ran out of time. So we have a few more options, particularly with this delay, and we're working. Our legal team is working on how we can take advantage of those options, because I noticed you mentioned the Election Count Act of
Which y'all went to a
1877.
civil war.
So I have in front of me two of the many law review articles. One
Oh God.
goes back to
I'm bringing out the
2002.
Black
You can
Air
see it's
Force,
quite.
Maybe Giuliani is not content like I thought. Maybe I lied.
It comes to the conclusion that the act is entirely unconstitutional and illegal. And then there's a second one, much more recent. I think this is 2016, and this is written by another two law professors for the Rutgers Journal. And they
Yeah,
come to
she
exactly
got
the
shot
same
and she
conclusion,
died.
that
That's
it's
very, very sad. Oh,
it's a
thank you
complete
for the
distortion of the
22
Constitution.
Twitch
you know, Mayor, I've been through that myself. I'm not a lawyer.
Thank you for donating, man.
Because I haven't heard from anybody today, and I think
Hey,
that
fuck
would
that
be
bitch. She's
a
a
good
terrorist.
thing to
No
hear
one cares.
what is on everybody's minds.
Low-key.
Yeah,
so
I
many
see
memes
people
on
in the
this right now.
chat telling me Jimmy Dore attacked me. I know,
Hey, why
I
is
know.
just
I already
one
liked
screen,
it and retweeted it. You know,
YouTube?
beyond that, I don't really care too much about it.
I don't know what the fuck to put on the third one anymore.
And I didn't really understand it, but we did
on
already
Fox
address
News.
that. Okay, so we're not.
I don't think I can.
fully back to that at this point in time. The curfew has started in DC. We're already 7
like-
minutes into the curfew.
All right, maybe I can.
Real
No.
rush from
Oh,
police
watch
officers
TV.
to get everybody out of there. But
I
slowly
cannot
but
stay on
surely,
here, dude.
it
I'm gonna
appears
be on
as
here for the
though
next hour and not even realize it.
people are
Oh no.
calming down, and they have sort of re-secured
There's people talking about
some of the
very few
area,
people
at least
talking
the
about other
capital.
shit, and I'm just like,
Check April Ryan's tweet about the 25th Amendment. Okay, let's check that out.
Bro, I don't think
April
it's done
Ryan.
yet.
I think it's April
Oh,
D.
it's not
Ryan.
done.
Yep, there it is.
No, I don't think the real
April D.
crazies
Ryan.
come out yet. All right.
No, I honestly, I think it's over. There's like nothing else that, unless they like get crazy tonight again, like whenever they start voting again. But I doubt it.
Focusing on the 25th Amendment to get Donald Trump out of office. If that is true,
fuck.
that would be absolutely wild. Let's do it.
What the hell?
That is, if true, huge if true. Absolutely huge if true. That is unbelievable. Twitter has locked Trump's account for 12 hours for spreading disinformation. We already talked about that. Democrats have taken control of the Senate thanks to winning both seats in Georgia, 50-50 with Kamala Harris as
Alex,
the
did you hear about the
tie-breaking
Capitol?
vote.
Alex,
And
what happened, dude?
Looks like rioters were
Alex, where have you
destroying
been,
some of
bro?
I just woke up, dude. If those machines are clean as a whistle, then I look like a total fool and an idiot. However, if the machines are what I think they are, I got a bunch of them that can go to jail. Same thing with the mail ballots. I believe there are many, many phony mail ballots.
They're still fucking spinning this. This is insane.
If you give us access to those ballots.
Oh, I haven't
Mr. Mayor,
actually made my account.
We've been talking about that for a long time, and
I
I
haven't
have
played,
major concerns about the mail-in
video
ballots
games in
as
the past
well.
couple of
I
days.
do
Suri
have to
moves
go back to Vice President
Friday.
Pence. As you know, he put out
I'm
the letter,
spending time with her, and then
he
I'll have
broke out
literally endless
essentially
hours
the
to play video
Electoral
games for
Count
the
Act
rest
of
of my life.
1887, and he's going through that procedure.
How do you place?
You believe, as well as some constitutional scholars, that he had a lot more authority today than he actually exerted. Is there anything else that he could do or he might do regarding state legislatures? First of all, are you disappointed in what he did?
Yes.
You are.
I do not believe that
The fuck should he have done?
the full measure of his constitutional authority, like Thomas Jefferson did, like other vice presidents have. He's accepted from his lawyers the most narrow interpretation of the law, rather than a broader interpretation of the law, which would be very permissible.
I honestly wonder if Mike Pence even likes Donald Trump at all.
You have to stay within the law, but you pick the interpretation that is as favorable to your client as possible. No one is asking the vice president to do anything that's illegal. So what could the vice president have done?
Just loopholes. Just loopholes.
Taken the 7 states that are in dispute, and he could have sent those back to those states.
Right.
4 of them asking him to do it.
It doesn't look like he's going to do that. Look, I'm sorry, we're running out of time, Mr. Mayor. Got to get you on this. You mentioned the Electoral Count Act. We've been talking about it.
I wonder if it's illegal for him to talk about this shit. Newsmax recently almost got sued over some shit.
Get it thrown out, and let's pretend for a moment you do. Then what happens?
Well, you don't have to get it thrown out. I mean, he has to act on it first. Otherwise, there wouldn't be standing to raise it. He has to have the confidence in the interpretations of the lawyers to say it's unconstitutional. I'm going to go back to the plain language of the Constitution and the 12th Amendment. The states have asked me to send the vote back. He got a letter last night from virtually the entire leadership of the Pennsylvania legislature, which says, please give us this back because our vote is incorrect. He has one from Georgia, he has one from Arizona, and he has one from Wisconsin. Those are 4 legislators begging him to give us the vote back because our vote is fraudulent. Well, I mean,
Wow, dude, imagine hearing this and not actually knowing like what the fuck is going on. That'd be so fucked up. It sounds legit. It sounds like crazy. It sounds like a legitimate grievance.
We'll have a president elected on what 4 legislatures believe now is a phony vote. He should have given it back to them, give them 5 days, 10 days to do a forensic audit, which we've never had. And that's what I meant by trial by combat. We could find out right away, are they
Oh my god.
or not? If they're not, Giuliani.
Why don't they?
If they are,
I feel like every time they get appeased, they just like move the goalpost even further and further back. Now we're at forensic ballots.
You think? Mayor, I got to go. I'm sorry. Mayor Rudy Giuliani, thank you very much. Our best to the president. Stay safe in Washington, D.C.
Later, motherfucker.
Everything calms down there. Everybody should follow the advice of the president. Let's go home in peace and then debate this thing tomorrow on Capitol Hill. We'll see what happens next. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Greg. A pleasure as usual.
You bet. My best to your son, too.
You, man. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that.
I guess wait here. What this is? Oh, nothing.
A lot of stuff about Trump's Twitter
or something.
Okay.
So for some reason, Newsmax is like interesting to me.
We're asking you if you think President Trump should concede the election to
This feels fake. I don't know why. It seems like a meme.
President Trump support
on here via Discord. As we wait for the House to resume, David.
And make sure to text in, boys. This poll's official. This poll is legally binding, by the way.
Okay.
Whoever wins this wins the presidency of the United States. So.
Caleb from Atlanta. Caleb from Atlanta, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, David?
Oh no, call-ins and commercials at the same time. Well, that's no good. I guess we'll see what everybody else is talking about.
Land from Georgia, and it's expected that.
All right. Damn, I'm kind of sad to see that I don't think anything else crazy is gonna happen. I missed all the crazy. Dude. That shit was. I was like hype as fuck. I was like driving in my car whenever they actually broke in, and I was like, oh my god, dude, this shit is real. This shit is not a meme.
Because I thought there was gonna be some gunfight. And
they were playing zombies, dude. Did you see that?
It did look like zombies. That was wild.
They were all fixing them gates, and then like eventually the zombies broke through.
Yeah.
Bro, these history books finna be fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to everybody else to take school.
A-Push is on another level right there.
A-Push just got expanded.
They got a whole another fucking 3 chapters to cover.
Like, you really gonna need the next version of that textbook now. There's a big difference between version 15 and version 16. Well, that was cool.
Unlike Black Lives Matter protests, there's no vandalism other than breaking into the Capitol. Oh my god! Like I said, the mental gymnastics, man. Like
It's pretty impressive, to be honest.
yeah, it's like, God, I think they actually have the smarter brains, because for somebody to just like be able to just make this like dig this hole constantly, you know.
Dude, you know what's crazy to me is like imagining like waking up today at 8:30 or whatever, and then putting on all your shit, grabbing your gun, like getting a pole and like tying your flag to it.
Like it's a rave.
Like it's a fucking rave.
Dude, it's a frat party, bro. It's a whole fucking frat party.
Dude, that's such a crazy idea that there are actually people who literally woke up and did that today. And then more than that, they had no idea they were going to be smashing windows and entering the Capitol building.
And holding X against the window, dude.
It's pretty bomb. That's what the riot police were trying to do.
The first round, they only had pistols. They weren't shooting because they were trying to knife for, like, you know, trying to save ammo. It's just smart.
You get more gold, or you get more points that way.
Yeah, they only got 80 points for shooting that lady in the neck. They could have got 130.
Should have knifed her. Let's see. Let's add a different window capture so I can get the whole damn screen.
This is so crazy. Well, hate to say, mad, we still won the Senate in Georgia.
I'm just happy that radical liberal Raphael Warnock and start making communism now. Give me my money. Give me my money, Raphael.
Maybe $2 grand, baby.
Where's my money, Raphael?
Hell yeah, bro.
Does this mean?
What are you gonna do with your $2,000, Bobby?
Probably get my fridge stocked up again. Get my car fixed.
What do you need done to your car?
And get textbooks.
That's pretty good.
Bobby, what do you need done to your car?
I don't know.
You want me to fix it for you? I'll pull your brake line.
Bitch, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean?
We're gonna get 2,000, dude.
Oh, apparently the senators who have been objecting are like deciding whether or not they should continue to object. I think that the senators know that the objections mean literally nothing. It's literally virtue signaling.
I think they just need a sound like, hey, we do not condone this at this point, because it's been very.
Well, that's the new optics for the Republicans, is to be like, yeah, no, this is gross. Like, this is bad.
No, it is.
That's the new optics.
They kind of were forced to this point.
Dude, they just follow popular fucking opinion. It's crazy.
What if they turn it and actually go with it, like the crowd, and like justify it as well?
That was this kind of scary part. But nah, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Thank God.
It seemed like there was a glimmer of that, but then when there was like no National Guard or anything at first.
Dude, that was wild. Trump did not want the National Guard to get sent.
He wanted to get as bad as it possibly could.
Wait, let me see if that's accurate. Trump National Guard.
Pence is the one that called him in.
I know that, but I want to know if Trump declined it, because there was a tweet by someone who was saying that he actually like declined it at first. Oopsie.
Niggas just said this is a 2020 deluxe album.
I need from today, dude. I need from like 21 hours, 5 hours ago. How was this 19 hours ago? Trump supporters pour into Washington. Huh.
Trump supporters pour up.
Oh, up in Washington.
Because it was a premeditated attack.
There's like some Trump parody account, and it's like Feds did a sweep.
You said what?
Feds did a sweep, bro.
What does that mean? Dude, the tweet memes, the Twitter memes are going crazy on this. Yeah. Who are you following us tweeting this shit?
Feds did a sweep, Darian. Travis is on the call?
Is he giving him a feedback question right now? Why, bro? It's so cringe.
It's so not based. Okay, well, it looks like all the fun's over. I'm gonna drop off. Buenos noches.